Good afternoon. We're here with Tony Phillips from Cloud Design Box. How are you doing, Tony?
Hi, Mike. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really well. Thank you. Looking forward to the interview. So if you could start us off by telling us a bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please, Tony.
Yeah, so I founded Cloud Design Box about 8 years ago. We specialize in Microsoft SharePoint and Teams for education and business. And we have a very unique product in the education market where we automate lots of different learning spaces for teachers and students inside Microsoft Teams. So it's quite a niche product, but we've slowly sort of built up and grown over time.
Brilliant. How did you get into that then?
I guess it was straight out of school. So I worked in a school as part of my sandwich year, as part of my degree. And while I was working in the school, they asked me to look after the SharePoint server. And from then on, I have just worked in sort of SharePoint and Teams all my life, really. I guess I didn't expect to still be working with it. I don't know how many years later it is now, well over a decade later, still working with SharePoint. I didn't think it'd exist for this long, never mind, make a career in business out of it.
So is it a unique kind of product service that you offer, or is there many other people doing it? And if so, what makes you guys stand out from the rest?
Yeah, I think it's many years experience of working in education has made us create quite a unique complex product, which hopefully saves teachers a lot of time. So it's a mix of automation, training, consultancy, and services that we offer. So we tend to feel that we don't really compete with anyone. We complement lots of different types of partners. We're open to working with anybody because what we do is quite niche. It is quite unique.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that. So those 8 years that you've been in business with Cloud Design Box, what's the journey been like so far? How would you describe it if you can, give it an explanation or description?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's difficult to put into words, but it's a challenge, from the start to the end. I think you need a sense of being persistent throughout the whole journey, because when you start off and it's just, I started off with it just being myself for the first couple of years, working from the spare bedroom at home. Mm-hmm. And, it can be difficult. It can be difficult to grow your business and to, especially when you take on that first employee and the risks that you take on with it. But yeah, I think it's just sort of pulling your sleeves up, doing a lot of hard work and persistently working towards those goals every day, edging a small bit closer to them as you go through every day. I think it's such a varied experience when you're in a business that, I struggle to put that into words, really.
Sure thing. There's a mixture of experiences that business owners go through and that they tell us about on the interviews. So it sounds pretty consistent with that. And so in terms of the future then and looking ahead, what does that look like for you guys? What do you see as the main challenges with regards to your next 8 years?
Yeah, so for us it's more growth. We've got ambitious growth plans over the next few years. And for us, there's lots of challenges with having a software company. You're always having to stay relevant and be useful in the solution that you provide. And because our solution is mainly worked on top of the Microsoft solution, we need to make sure that we work really closely with them. So we work closely with the US engineering team. And because we have that close relationship now, it's much easier for us to plan our products, make sure we don't overlap with what Microsoft do, and that we complement it and add value. So, although, we foresee many challenges, as we always do in business, I think in terms of our products, we're quite confident now that we've got a good roadmap, and we can continue to grow the product over the next few years.
Fantastic. So moving on to yourself then as a business owner and sharing the biggest lesson that you've had to date, the biggest thing that you've learned if there's one thing that you could pick out, what would that be?
Yeah, I think I've already mentioned it really, but it's being persistent. So
Yeah.
I think whether it's with sales, whether it's with your products or the quality or hiring the right staff, it's always about being persistent and not giving up. So it may, that may mean that you're working, long hours, but you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the process. But for me, it's all about being persistent and not giving up.
Good stuff. A good share there. Good lesson learned. So how, in terms of, say, advice and giving that to someone just starting out in business, or a younger person just starting out, perhaps if you were to meet yourself at 18, is that lesson similar to the advice you give, or is it a separate piece of advice for someone just starting out?
Well, I think at that age, I probably wouldn't be ready to start a business. I think sometimes you need a bit of experience and to understand, the industry that you work in, before you go into, creating a solution. But the most important thing is you need a good solution that people want. So that might be starting off really small and working with a small group of people and figuring out what their problems are and creating that solution. But then having the persistency then to follow it through and make that product that you can actually sell to a wider range of organizations. So again, really, it's, persistency. You have to appreciate, obviously, go work long hours and it's going to be tough at times, but not giving up. Keep going and make sure that you're moving every day towards that goal, I think is, the message I'll give to my younger self. Maybe you will get there eventually, or you'll get part of the way there at least.
Yeah, that's it. Patience. I think as long as you know that you're doing the right things, heading in the right direction, then yeah, just keep going. Good share on that. Thank you. So in terms of inspiration that you use to do what you do, it could be the people that you work with, the people, your clients, obviously your team members, your friends, family, anything you read, listen to. What do you use for inspiration?
There's lots of things, but I think one of the main things for us and I guess everybody at the business really is seeing the impact of what we do. So if we can make a difference, whether it's to a group of students, teachers, business workers, if we can make a positive impact, that really drives us forward. It encourages us to grow as well, that we can impact more people, make a bigger difference to the world. So yeah, I think that's the biggest inspiration to us is seeing the end result and the impact that we have. And if you're not making that impact for any reason, it's a great motivator to go back and fix your mistakes and again move it forwards.
Brilliant. Yeah, go back to your sort of purpose, I suppose, for why you exist, and make sure that stays on track. Thank you for that. It's good. So lastly, in terms of any latest news about what you're up to, or even if simply sharing the website that we can go to find out a bit more, feel free to share that.
Yeah, so we're exhibiting at the BET Show at the end of March. So the BET Show is the world's largest education technology show. We've got a stand there, so if anyone is visiting London at the end of the month, feel free to pop by and say hello to us and see what we do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tony. Absolute pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thanks for that, Mike.